Everybody knows that because they would be so far removed from the major cities where this would take place.
Okay. Wailul lil Arab, said the Prophet ﷺ. And Yusuf is asking, which Arabs are going to be destroyed? Would it be the Arabs who are, racially Arabs, in terms of their racial composition, the Semitic people? Or would be those also in the periphery who are not Arabs in terms of race, but have acquired the Arabic language, like Sudan? I believe that the destruction of the Arabs is in consequence of the physical proximity in and around the Holy Land. That's where the threat is. And so the Arabs who are going to be destroyed would appear to me to be those who are in and around the Holy Land. How far out, only Allah knows, but definitely in and around the Holy Land. After Nabi Isa alayhi salam dies, Nabi Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam said that he'll be buried next to me in Medina. And I gave this lecture, I think, in Sydney. And next morning I got an email, Sheikh Imran, where did you get this information that Jesus is going to be buried next to you? Nabi Muhammad said, alayhi salatu wasalam, that Nabi Isa alayhi salam will be buried next to him. After Nabi Isa alayhi salam has died, the historical process has reached its end, its culmination. There are no more pages left to be turned. All that remains now is the mopping up. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala releases into the world something which may be described as a gas. And whoever has even a grain of a mustard seed of faith in the heart would inhale the gas. Wherever you are, even in a cave, in a mountain, and you would die. And the only people left in the earth after that would be those who have no faith. There'll be no one on the earth saying Allah, Allah, meaning saying Allah, Allah with the heart. So if after that you see Maulana with his head down, quoting Quran and Hadith, after the gas is gone, you know, he survived the gas. Despite a mountain of knowledge of Quran and Hadith, he survived the gas. Amongst those people, a man would pass and see two people committing sexual intercourse in public. And he would say to the man, this is the most righteous that you would find. Can't you at least take her behind the wall? Can't you at least take her behind the wall? I don't know about the runny nose. That hadith never came to me. Any other questions, or have you written your questions as yet? It'll be helpful to me if you write them down. Save time. Yes, next one.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Sheikh Imran.
Wa alaikum salam.
I had someone wanted me to...
Come close to me. Save time.
Someone wanted me to ask you your opinions on 2012.
2012, okay. Yesterday, in the political analysis we said that Israel will have to dramatically expand its territory to encompass the biblical frontiers of the Holy Land. Whoever wrote the Bible, whoever rewrote the Bible, read Richard Friedman's book, please. Richard Friedman, an eminent American scholar of the Bible, PhD from Harvard. And his book was, Who Wrote the Bible? You will not regret reading that book. Whatever is written in that book confirms what Allah has said in the Quran. Whoever rewrote the Torah decided that the Holy Land extends from the river of Egypt to the river Euphrates. Why? Why did he say that? And there's a certain part of the frontiers of the Holy Land which have not been put into the Bible, but I know it. What he did was to say that wherever the Jews lived in exile, at that time is a part of the Holy Land. And since Nabi Yusuf alayhi salam took the Jews to Misr, and Misr is not the whole of Egypt. Today Misr is the whole of Egypt. But at that time Misr was the eastern delta between the Red Sea and the River Nile, the fertile eastern delta. That's where the Jews lived, the Israelite people. So he says from the river of Egypt, meaning the eastern delta where the Israelite people lived for 300-400 years, to the river Euphrates, because they were taken to exile in Babylon. Exiled in Babylon, they were enslaved in Babylon. So that's why the river Euphrates. But remember, the Jews also went to Medina. The Jews also lived in Medina. And so it is likely when Israel makes the effort to extend the territorial frontiers of the state to encompass the biblical frontiers, it is possible that there will be an attack on Medina, in addition to one to Egypt. And then Israel takes control of the Suez Canal. Israel controls the oil of the Gulf. I want to suggest to you that Israel is planning that big war. And Israel will use weapons of war never used before in history. I want to suggest to you, as I did yesterday, that Israel cannot make that move while a significant military threat still remains in the hands of Muslims. And so the Pakistani nuclear weapons and the Pakistani nuclear plants have to be destroyed by the hook or by the crook. And the invasion of Afghanistan from 9/11, in consequence of 9/11, is part and parcel of a big plan to eventually destroy Pakistan nuclear weapons. And all the maneuverings taking place now, because that is the target. In December of 2001,